How much can you really make on Etsy? In today's video, I'll be pulling back the curtain on my shop and sharing with you exactly how much I made in the first 4 months. Whether you are print on demand, a digital shop, or a handmade shop, there's quite a bit to unpack here. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into how my shop has performed. Alrighty, now we're gonna go ahead and hop into my computer. We'll begin with July 3rd through July 31, which is when I took my shop off of vacation mode. So we'll begin right over here. So during that time frame, I had 842 visits. I had a total of 59 orders, a conversion rate of 7%, and I had a little over $128 in revenue during the first month of my shop being reopened. We'll come down here to the traffic graph, and right here, July 3rd, I had 1 visit the day I relaunched. The following day, 17, 9 on July 5th, and we'll just keep going. And you can see that the traffic is kind of varied quite a bit. For example, look here on July 9th, I had 94 people come to my shop, but the following day, I only had 32. And then if we come over here to another spike on July 21, I had quite a few people come to my shop, but then look what happened the following day. It dropped. And finally over here, July 28th, I had 92 people come to my shop. And again, the following day, 24. And I want to share that with you because I don't want you to get too caught up on the day-to-day numbers, because you will go crazy. And it doesn't do anything positive for you either. Try to look at it on a week by week or a monthly or a yearly perspective to give yourself an accurate representation of how your shop is doing. If I really focused on that each day, the up and down, to me, in my opinion, I think it's a bit too distracting and it doesn't do anything positive for you. I had 59 orders. We'll come over here to the orders tab, and I relaunched my shop July 3rd. The following day I had an order. I continued on that path for a little bit, but on July 13th and July 14th, I didn't have any orders. And that happened again on July 18th, July 20th, and July 24th. So I did have a few days there where I had no orders. But you can see again, like the traffic up and down, up and down, up and down. July 11th, I had 5 orders. July 16th, I had 5. 27th, I had 6. And then July 31st, I had 7 orders. So up and down. And the revenue of $128.86 for that month. Okay, and moving along to the month of August, I'll go ahead and pull that up. $8.1 to $8.31. Perfect. Okay, so in the month of August, I had 1,543 visits to my shop. I had 167 orders, a 10.8 conversion rate, and $398.45 in revenue, which is quite a jump from the month prior. A little side note too, most of you guys know that I did have my shop open for a short period of time in 2023, but in January of 2024, I was over it and frustrated, and I put my shop on vacation mode. So that is why you'll see the blurb here about the numbers increasing from the year prior, because it's just by default going to compare it to that time the year prior. But anyway, I'll come over here to the visit graph, and we can see I had a pretty good amount of people come to the shop at the beginning of the month, which was really cool. And we'll just go along the graph, and you can see how I did. You can see that each day, I'm teetering between 20 and 30-ish people, maybe between 20 and 40 people per day. And then check that out. The 22nd, I had 115, which I hadn't had that many people before come to my shop in one day. And we will continue. 103 on 8/28. Then the final day of the month, we had 108 people come to the shop. Hopping over to the order graph, at the beginning of the month, I had 5 orders in one day, which very cool, very exciting. And it gave me a lot of hope to give me an idea of the potential of my shop. And it was really encouraging to know that something was being done right. I didn't quite know at that time, but this second time launching a shop was going a lot better than before, and I was really hopeful. We'll continue to go along. The order each day, you can see here I had only 1 order. The following day, no order, but then it picked back up again. And the rest of that month, I did not have a no order day, but the number did vary from day to day. And I'll continue to go along the graph. 9 orders in that day, 13 on the 27th, which, oh my gosh, it's very cool to see the hard work you're putting in begin to pay off by having an actual plan and having a strategy. So this was very reassuring to me that I was doing something right, and it really encouraged me to keep going. We did end the month with an 18 order day. I had never had that many in my shop in one day ever. And I remember being home that day and I'm hearing all the cha-chings go off, and that's a feeling that I want for everybody to have. And I'm hoping that you are finding some encouragement, some motivation by seeing real numbers from a real shop. I'm not making $100,000 a month or anything. These are real numbers, and I think it gives a better idea of what you can expect when you open your Etsy shop, and to see that it does take a little bit of time. If you're getting value from the video and you're feeling encouraged and inspired, then like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. Okay, now we will go to the month of September. Let me pull that up. Okay. Now another increase the following month, which we're moving in the right direction. I had over 2,800 people come to the shop. I had nearly 250 orders. My conversion rate did drop a little bit. It dropped down to an 8.8%, which I'm not even mad about because that's really good. And we had $760.29 in revenue. Hopping over to the traffic graph, you can see that we're starting off the month of September pretty strong. We've come quite a bit from the days of having 5 people visit the shop, 10 people visit the shop. Now we're beginning the month off with nearly 100 people visiting the shop. We did dip down a bit the next day, but I'm not mad about the numbers. I'm not. We'll continue going along. The month of September, you can get an idea of what the visits are looking like each day. We're kind of holding steady in the 50 mark. And then we have a bit of a jump on 9/21, a higher jump on 9/22, and then we kind of stayed around the high 100 mark through the end of the month, which is pretty cool. I'll click the order graph, beginning the month off with a pretty good number of orders, and it kind of kept going throughout the month. Had 3 orders here, continued with the 3 to 6 order range for quite a bit, actually for the majority of the month. But the good thing about it is that we're holding steady. We're not dropping down significantly. I don't have a no order day. We're doing pretty well. I'm happy with it. We have a jump of 10 orders and 11, and we just continue to, and I had my second record of having the highest amount of orders in one day on 9/25. We had 20 orders on that day. The following day, I had another record. I had 21 orders on that day. And then we did dip down on 9/28 to 11 orders, but we finished off the month pretty strong. That would be the month of September. Alrighty, and now we are moving into October, the final month I'll be covering today. October was a very interesting month for me. Can't wait to show you how that month ended. I'll hop back over here. All right, get ready for the month of October. I had nearly 18,000 people come to my shop. I had over 1,700 orders, a 9.9 conversion rate, and over $4,800 in revenue. Now, you might be wondering what changed this month. I think it was a number of different things. Well, number one, it's Q4. That's when Q4 began. But I was so honed in on finding low competition and trending items that I struck gold with a few of the items I had listed, and they took off. So when I look at these numbers, I don't want you to think that everything in my shop was doing well. It wasn't, but I had a good number of listings that had to begin to really work their way through the algorithm and take off. I mean, took off because they were high quality listings. I had good mock-ups for it, but there wasn't much competition and there was a demand for it. So I do attribute all of those factors into this exponential growth in the month of October. I look at these numbers and I still can't really believe it that I accomplished that. I'm a regular person working a job, living a regular life, and I'm somehow finding a way to make the Etsy thing work. So we'll go through the traffic graph. Now, in September, we began the month off with 96 people coming to the shop. October, we're at 247 to begin the month off. And if you look at the graph overall, it doesn't go below that. The following day, over 300, and the numbers are continuing to go up and up. And 529, 565. The numbers are continuing to grow. Look right here, October 14th, I had 714. And we're going higher and higher. We do have a bit of a dip here, but I mean, who would be mad about over 500 visits in one day? I'll take it. It's completely fine. And then the highest day I had was October 22nd. I had 822 people come to the shop. And then just continued to go along. And we ended the month with having, on 10/31, 642 people come to the shop. We'll hop over to the order graph. And on day one, I had another new record of 25 orders in one day, which that's still pretty wild to me. And it continued to go up. October 8th, 56 orders one day. October 9th, 57. But look, October 12th, we had 42. Quite a bit of a dip, but we go back up. October 17th, I had a total of 77 orders on that day. And again, this is really coming down to high quality listings, trending items, not much competition. And I really do know that combining all of that together is what made my shop take off. We dropped down a bit, but that's okay. I mean, who's mad at 48 orders in one day? I'm not mad about it. And it continued. October 24th, I had 84 orders. But 2 days later, I had 39. Again, I want you guys to really appreciate the fact that it does go up and down. No matter how well a shop is doing, it definitely goes up and down. We don't want you to get too hung up on that either. Okay. October 29th, 93 orders. October 30th, 94. And October 31st, 64 orders, and that is how I ended my month of October. Now we'll go ahead and take the total of that 4-month period and get a total number of how I did. So from July 3rd to October 24th, I had over 23,000 people come to the shop, over 2,200 orders, a 9.7% conversion rate, and over $6,100 in revenue. And we can come right down here to the graph. I had a total of 842 people come to the shop in July, 1,543 in August, 2,820 in September, and then 17,765 people visit the shop just in the month of October alone. Hopping over to the order graph, in July I had a total of 59 orders, August 167, September 249, and October 1,764 orders. When I was starting out with Etsy, the first time around and the second time around, I did watch a lot of videos of people sharing how their shop was doing, and I always found it very encouraging and very inspiring. And I genuinely hope that you felt the same way too watching this video. It's not a bragging video or a look at me video. It really is about look what you can do. There is no reason why we all cannot do well on the platform. There is more than enough room for all of us to win. And I wanted to share with you real numbers. Now, I do understand that my shop did take off a bit, but why can't your shop do the same? And I'm a huge believer in that you are literally one listing away from changing the entire trajectory of your shop. You just have to keep going and you cannot give up. I understand that frustration is a thing. I know that feeling a little bit too well, but you can't quit. You have to keep going. You never know which listing will take off and change your shop. So I encourage you to keep going, keep listing, keep learning, and remain open and teachable. And don't be afraid to pivot if you need to. Don't be afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to implement different strategies to find what works for your shop. And keep in mind that you want to continue looking after the low competition and the trending items to really put your shop ahead and give it an edge. I thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye everyone.